without her?
We have another 90 seconds.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. We're so fortunate to have Carrie Hillary back with us, singing her original songs. So please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing There Is Enough. Oh, Carrie's going to tell us about the song.
Go ahead and get up. I'm going to teach you the chorus. This is a call and response. So on the verses, I'm going to sing a line and you'll sing it back to me. On the chorus, we're going to do it together. And the chorus goes like this. So I got to learn you this first. And it goes like this. There is enough. There is enough. I am enough. We are enough. Okay, do that with me. First it's there is 2, 3, 4. There is enough. Your quick studies. There is enough. I am enough. We are enough. I close my eyes.
I close my eyes.
I open my mind.
Open my mind.
And I look inside.
And I look inside.
What do I find?
What do I find?
A heart filled with joy.
Heart filled with joy.
Life touched by grace.
Life touched by grace.
I'm feeling love.
I'm feeling love.
For the whole human race.
For the whole human race.
There is enough. Everybody together.
There is enough.
I am enough.
We are enough.
I let it go.
I let it go.
And I open up.
I open up.
Embrace all I have.
Embrace all I have.
Give all I got.
Give all I got.
I open my heart.
Open my heart.
Reach out my hand.
Reach out my hand.
Sharing it all.
Sharing it all.
'Cause I understand.
'Cause I understand.
There is enough. Like you mean it.
There is enough.
Yes, indeed. I am enough. We are enough. I close my eyes.
I close my eyes.
I open my mind.
Open my mind.
And I look inside.
When I look inside,
What do I find?
what do I find?
A heart filled with joy.
A heart filled with joy.
Life touched by grace.
Life touched by grace.
I'm feeling love
I'm feeling love
for the whole human race.
for the whole human race.
There is enough. There is enough. I am enough. We are enough. Let's do that again. There is enough. Affirm it. There is enough. Indeed, I am enough. We are enough.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek on this Labor Day Sunday, Labor Day weekend Sunday. Glad to have everybody here. And thank you to Lisa and Keith for leading us in song. And our featured musician, as mentioned this morning, is Carrie Hillary. Carrie, great to have you here. And she is accompanied by Joe and Larry. And thank you all. And Carrie will be on the patio after the service to sell her CDs to you, and you should get as many as you can afford. Because you can have her in your home all the time.
She has other things besides CDs.
Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah.
I invite you to turn your cell phone to silence as we enjoy this sacred service. A little feedback here. Please join me by turning to the camera and waving hello to our friends at home. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. At Unity of Walnut Creek, our mission is in loving community, we empower spiritual growth by modeling and teaching universal spiritual principles. I invite you to join me in affirming our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. I invite the ushers to come forward at this time. If you are with us for the first time, let me be the first to welcome you. And I hope you'll choose to stay with us and meet some of our people on the patio after the service. And if you're comfortable, please raise your hand. See anybody? Nope. So an usher could give you a welcome packet. And there are packets, if you didn't raise your hand and you are new, there are packets available in the bookstore. Connection cards are available for everyone in the seat pockets in front of you. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week. You may also share feedback or request information. Please place your card in the basket along with the offering. And now take a moment to greet the people immediately around you.
I let the love wash over me. 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 I let the grace 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 wash over me. Everybody join us. I let the grace, yeah, wash over me. I let the grace wash over me. I let the grace wash over me. I let the love 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 wash over me. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zoe, and it is birthday Sunday.
Oh, sorry, we're
So
waiting
if-
for Larry to get back up here.
If your birthday is in September, please stand so we can honor you.
Ooh. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday.
And we have several activities to highlight this week. Hi, Mario. Today is a Munch and Mingle Sunday. After each service, our fall fundraiser team will provide light refreshments on the patio. It's a great opportunity to connect with old friends and meet our new members. And while you are on the patio, you can sign up to host and facilitate a small group for our fall book club study, or book study. We have a new gratitude circle starting this Friday, September 6th at 6 p.m. This weekly group will include sharing. Hi, Dad. The gratitude circle will include sharing, meditation, chanting, movement, and more. Join us to open your heart and deepen your gratitude to overflowing. And join us next Friday, Saturday, September 6th at 6 p.m. for a family game night. Friday, September 6th, for a family game night. Bring a dish to share and your favorite board games. It will be a great time. It's fun. Board games are fun. And it's time to move forward toward the dreams that are in your heart. Unleash your creativity and subconscious mind in Unity's Vision Board Workshop on Sunday, September 8th. Catherine Ramadi is on the patio today after the service to show you some vision boards. And you can save $5 by pre-registering today. Join us for World Day of Prayer on Thursday, September 12th. This year's theme is Infinite Peace, Unlimited Potential. Join us for a 12 p.m. vigil and a 7 p.m. service. Please see your bulletin and our website for more information about these and other activities. And now I would like to invite Susan to the platform.
Hello, beautiful children of God. How are you this morning? I'm here as a member of your board of directors to make an announcement of some changes that have happened.
Lisa Nichols, our longtime president and stalwart of the community, has decided to step aside. And I'd like to honor her right now. For many, many years, she's not leaving us. She's just moving on to other things. She's got a lot going on in her life right now, and she's chosen to follow her heart, and we honor you. Now, going forward, Diana Messitz will step into her role as president because she's been vice president. I was elected to be vice president, and thank you for the opportunity to serve. We are committed to maintaining our service to this community, and we are grateful for the opportunity. If you have any questions, if you have anything to say, we have a community gathering on the 15th, and we're happy to hear what you have to say. In the meantime, enjoy.
Thank you, Susan. We are so appreciative of your leadership and Diana's leadership. Oh, here I thought we were clapping to the camera. I didn't know Lisa was here in person. So if you see me looking at the camera, those of you on live stream, thank you, Lisa. We cannot say enough about all that Lisa has offered to this community. So we so appreciate you, and we so respect you for making a decision that is to follow your heart. Isn't that what we're all about here, is to follow our hearts? Yeah. All right, and I did want to mention, too, that Veronica has stepped in as one of our Board of Trustees. So Veronica's been serving as an advisor and is now finishing out Lisa's term. So thank you, Veronica, for stepping in as well. We've got a great board. If you serve on the Board of Trustees, would you stand? Because I see a few more. Thank you. Thank you. Stalwart, fabulous folks. We've got so much to celebrate today. I'm not sure we can jam it all in, but we will, because there's so much goodness, and we're talking about co-creation today, and we are all about co-creating abundance, are we not? Yeah, the joy, the peace, the love, all that goes with it. So as a part of that abundance, we have 12 new members to celebrate. So I'd like to invite them to come forward at this time, and I'll do my best to name them all correctly. I think I can get the first one, Brenly Rada. That's right. I know that one. Kathleen Poole, Florence Osterman, Marie McGarvey, who's Michael McGarvey's sister, Nancy Lojacano, Brian Hamilton, Shelley Frost and her daughter Jasmine. Jasmine isn't old enough to officially be a member, but she attended all 3 classes in full, stayed awake. And so she gets a t-shirt for that, you'll see later. Pamela Fisher is with us. Bev Downley. And Clinton Conley. You can applaud. This guy is stepping in. He's going to be on the webmaster team. He's going to be in marketing. He's already been helping us with the membership program, so thank you. So Hatha Harvey is not with us today, but she is becoming a new member, as well as Pam Whitman, who isn't feeling well today. And you know Pam, probably. She's been around for a long time with us. So this is a great celebration for each of you to be with us. And I should also mention Marie and Bev are coming to us from Unity of Tri-Valley. Some of you, yeah, we've got a couple others here from Unity of Tri-Valley. So what we do when we come together over the 3 weeks that we spend together is we talk about Unity's history and our movement, and we talk about the 5 basic principles, and these folks went deep. I mean, we went way beyond, I think, the 5 basic principles and had some really wonderful conversations. Many of them have been on the path for a long time, so it was really wonderful to get to know each other and to share at that level. And you know, one of the things that we believe here is that we believe in divine wholeness, right? We believe in a sense of oneness, that wholeness and oneness are natural states of being. That's how we are in relationship to one another and to the earth. And that this earth is a prosperous place. It lacks nothing in truth. And so those are the kinds of foundational ideas that we rest on together. We come together as a community to support and to remind each other of who we are in spirit, and to co-create the kind of world we want to live in. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today, as co-creation is our principle of the day. And everything we do here at Unity of Walnut Creek, as you know, is intended and is based upon our core values and our core beliefs. So inviting all of you into membership here at Unity of Walnut Creek, we recognize that you have a desire to know the divine, to understand and to love by and live by spiritual principles. And we also acknowledge that you take responsibility for your own spiritual awakening and conscious communion with Spirit in your own way of praying. And we also recognize your desire to support Unity of Walnut Creek and your intention to support us with your presence, your participation, your prayers, your talents, your service, and your tithes. And if you are in agreement to all those things and ready to make this commitment and accept those responsibilities, I want to invite you all to say, I am. I am. And you all can reconfirm your membership if you are members along with us if you'd like. So we do both a water baptism and a baptism of affirmation. The water baptism, I always use water from a sacred place. This comes from the headwaters of the Sacramento River in Mount Shasta. Really beautiful, pure water there. And so basically the water baptism is just a letting go, a shedding, a releasing of whatever might stand in our way. So I'm going to offer that as a ritual for each of our members, and then we'll speak an affirmation, a spiritual affirmation together. And maybe we could get a little music, Maestro?
Stand in your way and to step into the full truth of the divinity of who you are. Bev, I see you letting go of anything that might stand in your way from the past and to fully embrace the truth of these principles. Pamela, I see you letting go and letting God be God through you, powerful and beautiful in every way. Would you like a water baptism? Letting go of anything that could possibly stand in your way for the divine potential to be fully realized in you. Shelley, you let go and you let God be God in all of its beautiful, powerful ways it wants to express through you. Brian, I see you letting go of anything that could possibly stand in your way to the very utmost good. Of all that you've come to be. Marie, I see you letting go and letting God, letting go of anything that could possibly stand in your way, being all that you've come here to be in your fullness. Florence, I see you letting go and letting God, letting go of any beliefs that might trip you up and stand in your way, because there is a full blossoming potential and prosperity wanting to be known here. Shedding anything that might stand in your way now and fully opening to the truth of who you are. Thank you. Oh, my love. You let go, you let God. You let God be God in you as your rising star comes forth and the full divinity in you is made known.
And so now I invite you, all of our new members, to speak our affirmation of commitment together. Together, I affirm my oneness with my Creator and my awareness of the divine within me. I will always look to Spirit as my source. I affirm my dedication to the spiritual principles of truth and my willingness to seek, learn, and express them. I affirm my intent to behold and honor the Christ Spirit in others and to love to the best of my ability. I affirm my commitment to honor my body, soul, and our earth home by living in wholeness and unity with all life. I affirm my practice of prayer and meditation, seeking daily quiet times and remembering others in my prayers. I affirm my commitment to be a supportive member of this spiritual community by sharing my gifts of service and prosperity. And I'd like to offer all of you as a congregation in the supportive community this affirmation for our new members. Are you now affirming your dedication to support these new members in their spiritual growth, to welcome them into this family and to behold the divine in them? If so, please say, I am. I am. So we'd like to gift each of you with a T-shirt and a certificate of your membership, and Carl is going to help me out with that. Congratulations. Congratulations. Oops. Congratulations. Congratulations. Here's your old T-shirt back. Well, we'd like to now bless you with a song because we can't keep you up here long enough admiring and loving on you. So Lisa has written this song for our new members, so we invite you to just receive as the rest of us sing to our new members.
I behold divine in you, and I'm warmed by the flame in your heart. Oh, today you join our family, and we thank you for all that you are. I behold divine in you, and I'm warmed by the flame in your heart. Oh, today you join our family, and we thank you for all that you are. Love binds us all. Love binds us all. Love binds us all. Love binds us all. I behold divine in you, and I'm warm our family, and we thank you for all that you are. Keep shining your light. Keep shining your light. Keep shining your light. Oh, keep shining your light.
Welcome home. I want to invite everybody to say, welcome home. Welcome home. You can lead the way. Thank you. We are blessed, aren't we? Multiplying wonderful beings and talent.
Are we going to teach them the secret handshake?
I told them hazing rituals begin afterwards. We'll see what happens there. So now is a time of meditation. I want to invite you to get still, perhaps remove anything from your lap, and Carrie's going to begin us with a little music, followed by some guidance.
God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is all there is, and I am one with God. Is I am, and so it is.
So we rest in these truths. That God is all there is, and I am that I am. That the source of all goodness assures us, knowing this, that we are safe, that we are in love, in the very essence of love, the whole spirit of love. That we move and breathe and have our being in love. And in that knowing, there is comfort, there is safety. And there is freedom then to act, to co-create. The knowing of our second principle, that I am divine, that my very essence is of this the goodness that is shared with the source. That I am powerful beyond my understanding because I am one with this force for good. God is, I am. I invite you, if that appeals to you, to make it your mantra for our few moments of silence. Breathing in, God is. Breathing out, I am. In the silence. God is, I am. These are the truths upon which we rest. And these are the truths that spring us into action. Knowing that we are sourced by a loving, all-powerful source, and knowing that we are an inseparable part of that power and that love. These are the foundational truths that support us in all that we do and all that we are. And it is with deep gratitude and humility that we accept these truths and say thank you, Spirit, for the infinite gifts. And so it is.
God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is We will see it when we believe it in our hearts. Looking backward, I know where it starts. Creating the outcome that we seek. Manifesting all that we believe. Believe it, you'll see it. Create the perfect life, just plant the seed. Believe it, you'll see it. Set your mind on what your heart believes. Are you listening to that still small inner voice? Remembering we're endlessly at choice. Affirming we have all that we need. Are we ready to embrace what we receive? Believe it, you'll see it. Create the perfect life, just plant the seed. Believe it, you'll see it. Set your mind on what your heart believes. Time to release your fear and pride. Follow the wisdom that is guiding you. What is the dream you hold inside? When you believe in it, you will see it. Follow the wisdom deep inside. Trust your heart to be your guide. Knowing the power of your mind. Embrace the good that comes in time. Believe it, you'll see it. Create the perfect life that you will lead. Believe it, see it. Set your mind on what your heart believes.
Thank you, Carrie and band. Perfect song for this day. My grandmother once said that I had the eyes of a dreamer, and I just loved that so much. And I want to give that gift to you today to say that you too have the eyes of a dreamer. Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Because it affirms the truth that we are co-creators, that we are always dreaming about the possibilities and the potentiality of who we are and what we want to see in our lives, in our lifetime, in our world, in our families, in our communities. We are dreamers, all of us in this room. And really all of humanity are dreamers. Not everybody's aware of that. But many are. And many good things are happening in our world. As much as you may hear about the doom and gloom, there's fabulous things happening in our world. People waking up everywhere all the time, right? And all of us waking up a little more each day. And into the truth of this third principle, that is that we are co-creators of our reality. We are co-creators of our lives and our world and ourselves in the process, are we not? Lynn Twist talks about 3 scarcity myths. You've probably heard me talk about them before, because every time I look at prosperity, I come back to those as these foundational teachings in the soul of money. She says the 3 are, there is not enough, the myth that we live by that limits us. And the second is more is better. And the third is that's just the way it is. And interestingly, she says the last one is the most dangerous. So there is not enough. We know well what that is like. We know what it's like when we ourselves feel like there's not enough, right? When there's not enough, we cut off the flow. When there's not enough, we don't give, we hold back because we hold in fear. So there's even that kind of posturing almost. And you can see how our lives sort of constrict and ourselves kind of constrict when we are in a place of believing that there's not enough. And when we are in the flow, the prosperous flow, we are open and easy and comfortable and free. We are prosperous, right? That's how we see prosperity in Unity. It is about financial freedom and so much more. Most of us would define prosperity or our good as some combination of health and wealth, health of bodies and health of minds and health of relationships and fulfilling work and service and creative outlets and financial freedom. All of that is the goodness that we talk about so much. And then for this other myth, more is better, just this idea of that amassing more is better, which we know, even though we are lured constantly to create a more comfortable and more luxurious and more easy life with more stuff, that we know that the answer isn't necessarily to amass more stuff, that more is better is actually not a myth that we can sustain. And so we're at that, and that's a big part of why I like Lynn Twist's prosperity teachings, because she talks about it from a sustainability aspect as well. But let's get to this other one that she says is so dangerous. That's just the way it is. You almost can't say it without just sort of, dramatically throwing up your arms, Well, that's just the way it is, right? But you know that every great movement is a counter to that myth? Gandhi overthrew the British Empire. Nobody thought that was possible. And everybody would have said, well, that's just the way it is, that we are colonized. That's just the way it is. And this man said, no, I'm a co-creator. Do you want to co-create with me? Yeah, that's really the invitation, isn't it? For all these movements, the civil rights movement, the suffragette movement, the women's right to vote, and I could go on and name a billion, and so could you. But every one of those movements didn't buy into this myth that says, that's just the way it is, We just have to succumb to that. We're helpless. We're powerless. No. Because we are co-creators. That's the counter-truth. That's the truth that we stand on. So I just recently become acquainted with a co-creator who I want to share with you a little bit about. You might know her too. Her name is Greta Thunberg. Anybody know her? She's a young Swedish girl. Yeah, many of you do know her. Yeah. So Greta started her big journey of sort of coming out in the world with her work last November. But she's a well-known climate activist now. But and just since November, by the way, nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in March. She started at 8 finding out about climate change. And she couldn't believe it was real. In fact, she was pretty sure it wasn't real. In a way, she was a climate change denier at first, because she thought, if it's real, people would talk about it all the time. And it seems like nobody ever talks about it. She's like, well, it can't be real then. And so she actually went into a deep depression at the age of 11. She stopped eating and talking for some time. And at 15, she had an idea. She started to strike from school. So she just had a simple sign, and she'd sit outside the parliament, the Swedish parliament, before the elections every day with just skipping school for climate. And the idea that when people asked her, her parents, her teachers included, encouraged her to go back to school. And she said, well, what's the point, really, of that future when action needs to be taken now and nobody's taking the action? And so she's really stood in this, and she's been diagnosed with Asperger's, so she has this way of really delivering things in a very clear and concise way, a real common sense way that's shaken things up all around the world. In fact, the leader of OPEC, remember, is, what does it stand for? Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Mohammed Burkindo is the Secretary General, and he said that Greta is the single greatest threat to the fossil fuel industry. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? So obviously her movement took off. At first it was she and her little sign, and then it became a movement all over Europe, and kids all over Europe started striking from school on Fridays with the same idea. And they continue. She addressed the United Nations. She's given a TED Talk. She was on the cover of Time magazine in May. She's met with all kinds of dignitaries, including Pope Francis, who's really encouraging her to stay the course and continue to do this work, continue to be the co-creator that she is, to know and stand on that truth that I am a co-creator and that's just the way it is isn't okay. It's not acceptable. I will not accept the myth that that's just the way it is, because I know that I can co-create a different kind of world, and I must. And that's what she's doing. And it's caught on like wildfire. She just arrived on Wednesday to New York City to spread her message, and she arrived after a 2-week journey across the Atlantic on a high-speed, zero-emissions yacht because she refuses to fly and add more carbon to the atmosphere. The girl walks her talk. She doesn't eat meat, she doesn't eat dairy, she doesn't fly, she doesn't buy new stuff unless it's absolutely required. She's putting a lot of us to shame. I have to tell you, I had to really sit with it after I read what she was doing. I was like, wow, no more flying? That's tough. It's tough. This was her message, part of her message to the United Nations. You are not mature enough to tell it like it is. Even that burden you leave to us children. I don't care about being popular. She's insinuating that you all care more about being reelected and being popular. I care about climate justice and the living planet. What do you stand on like that? Is there anything that you stand on with that kind of passion, or is there anything that's brewing in your heart that has that kind of passion? Because whatever it is for us, whatever makes our heart break, really, in these times, these heartbreaking times, is rich opportunity. Let's not get sad so much about the heartbreak, but see the possibilities in that. Because what happens when our hearts break? They break wide open, right? And when our hearts break wide open, abundant opportunities become available to us. We feel alive. We feel like there's potency in this. And so it is that then sends us forth as co-creators, to co-create then in joy. Not in doom and gloom and sadness, but with hope and joy and possibility and potentiality, and knowing that truth is coming forth through us. When I hear Greta, I don't hear a child that she's serious, she's intense, but she's on purpose, and I don't hear a lack of hope. I hear I'm doing it. I'm co-creating. How great is my life? And that is true for all of us when we step into, and you know what? We are co-creating in every moment of every day. So it's not just the big movements that are created by us, but it's also the little things that happen in each day, right? The little ways in which we co-create when we are conscious of who we are. And it's these two first foundational principles that we really spring forth from when we move into co-creativity and bringing forth the good in our world and in our lives and materializing that. It's the two foundational principles that say, you know, if I know God is my source and it's all loving and everywhere present, then I know I'm safe. I know everything's okay. I know that there's not some other sort of evil entity out there out to get me, you know? Charles Fillmore said it best, evil is just a parasite. And as soon as the relationship with the host is severed, there is no life left for it. And so it's a temporal thing that comes along because we start to believe something is true, like a myth, like one of these scarcity myths. And instead, when we wake up and we realize, oh, that's not the truth, that's not the abundant truth of who I am, that's not the I am that I am, the divinity that I know that I am, the power that I know that I have. For those of you who were here last week, you got to experience the waterfall from Iceland that Ron shared, and the before and after experience when he ran it again and had you really connect with your power, your divine power, and then to feel it. Wasn't that beautiful? To feel it, to recognize in consciousness. And so that's what our work is about. Over and over again, to become consciously aware of all that we are and all that is possible and how we can join forces to do amazing things. As Janice Stanfield sings, you will do amazing things, amazing things. And those amazing things begin one step, one breath, one conversation, one moment at a time. So, co-creation is perfectly timed with Labor Day. Tomorrow is Labor Day, and we honor rest. We honor our work by resting on Labor Day, don't we? We honor our co-creativity and our creativity and our movement and our action by taking a day of rest, which is part of co-creativity. You know, the creator of the entire universe did rest on the seventh day. We can too. And that's an important part of it, right? The renewing and the recharging is an important piece of it. And when we honor our work, what is that? What is that work and that service in the world? David White, the poet, describes it, work as a shaping and discovering, that we are shaping and discovering an opportunity that shapes and discovers. And really, what happens when we shape and discover whatever it is that we are creating in the world, whatever it is that we are birthing or midwifing or bringing forth? It changes us, right? We shape and discover ourselves. We begin to see more of that S, that big S self, because the second part of his definition is it is the place where the self meets the world. Work, service, co-creation. It's the place where the self meets the world. It's the place where that invisible power and truth of who we are begins to materialize in the world, begins to be offered out into the world with our gifts and our service and our talents and our presence and our kindness and our awakeness. All of those, all of you in this room. So often I think about when we're talking about making shifts in the world, I think about all of us in this room, you know, the 100 and some people in this room. It's enough. If one 16-year-old girl can be the greatest threat to the fossil fuel industry on the planet, I'm pretty sure that the 100 plus of us that have been doing this work for a long time can shift the world in a really positive way, aren't you? Together, just by being together today and singing together and meditating together and chewing on the message together, we make a change. That's a conscious choice to be a co-creator, for you to say on Sunday morning, of all the places I could be, I'm going to go to Unity. And today, I'm going to practice being a co-creator with other co-creators, and I'm going to be in that energy of co-creation. I'm going to be in that space of shifting and being and modeling and shaping and discovering that which we have come to be. So those are our choices that we make all the time, and how we make our choices and how we do this co-creative work is really at that seed point that Carrie sang about just a moment. The thoughts that we have are seeds. And that's what then works to grow into what it is that we are co-creating. We water those seeds with our feelings. And so thoughts and feelings are really the key elements of this co-creative principle, the key things that we work with. And so it is paying attention to our thoughts, paying attention to our decisions, paying attention to that which lights us up and that which drains us. We don't want to be doing the draining stuff, right? We want to do the stuff that lights us up. We want to think on that, allow that, receive that divine idea, and then water it with the feelings of joy and possibility, of love, of passion, of anticipation, of connection, of collaboration. It's not to say we shouldn't feel our feelings of sadness, depression, whatever it is that is up. If those feelings are up, we feel those feelings, but we don't have to stay there. We just embrace them, feel them, move through them, let them go. That's why we do the water baptism that we just did, because the releasing is as important as the affirmation. If there's something that's standing in the way, that's blocking our path, we want to let it go so we can rise into the fullness and the truth of the co-creators that we have come to be. Yes? Yeah. Now, some say that it's a dog-eat-dog world, and that's just the way it is. And some say there are winners and there are losers, and, well, that's just the way it is. Did any of you watch the third round of the U.S. Open last night, the women's singles? It was a much-hyped match between Naomi Osaka, who was the #1 seed, and this new tennis sensation, 15-year-old Coco Gauff. And so there was all this hype and all this pressure around it. And what happened was the #1 seed, Naomi Osaka, beat Coco, and Coco cried. Can we have that picture, if we've got it, John? And this is what Osaka did. She hugged her. And she was really present with her. It wasn't just, this is the way it is. This is the way it is usually at the end of a tennis match. We shake hands, and then the winner gets to have their limelight and their spotlight time with the media and the crowd. But guess what Naomi Osaka did instead? She invited Coco to be a part of that interview. And Coco said, "Oh no, I'm crying." And Osaka said, "Nobody cares that you're crying. Your fans want to hear from you." And it was so beautiful. And so they just shared their time together. And I tell you, the announcers afterwards, the game was fabulous, but nobody was really talking about that. They were all talking about the way that Naomi Osaka showed up. See, it's not so much just what we co-create, but how we co-create, in the spirit in which we co-create, with the spirit of sportsman or sportswomanship, right? It's a spirit of kindness and inclusivity and authenticity and humbleness. We can do that even in a competitive arena. We can bring that kind of co-creative spirit, and she did it for all of us. The announcer said, long after this match is over, this is what we'll remember. Not the play, but the afterplay. The way, the spirit in which this fine competitor, this talented tennis player, nurtured and mentored the younger one and included and brought her in. We always have that opportunity, right? To nurture and mentor one another no matter what our age. To be with each other, to be inclusive, to recognize that we're all doing hard work, that we're all working toward, similar goals, that we're in this together, and to help each other in that process. Not to just go off and be number one and be in the limelight. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave us in co-creation? I just want to make one other point, and that is that when we approach co-creation, when we actually activate that power in us and move toward an intentional co-creation, there's basically two different approaches. One is through intention, and the other is through inspiration. Now, through intention, we might decide, claim, give over to the universe, pray, and say, this is what I want. This is my heart's desire. This is what I'm upholding. This is what I'm affirming. This is what I'm creating a vision board about. I'm looking at Catherine, who's going to lead you through that next Sunday. Really wonderful way to create a board where you are looking at what it is over and over, the visual, and that's helping those seed thoughts and those feelings co-create what we want. And then maybe we listen along the way to Spirit's guidance as we move toward this. We always add, or something better, because we're in partnership with Spirit. Spirit may have something better in mind for us. We don't want to miss out on that. So that's sort of the intentional approach, the one with intention. And then there's the inspirational approach, where we get inspired. We receive a divine idea. We weren't even looking necessarily, but the superconscious mind just drops a divine idea into receptive us, and we say, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. How interesting. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to follow that guidance. Now, and then, of course, we're in that same dance of whether we take action and then if we check in again and all of that, we go back into that same dance of the intentionality of following that. Now, the mystics would say, completely surrender, give over, sit in meditation and prayer, and then if you're guided, you take action on that, and then back to prayer and so on. So some of us live more in the inspirational camp and some of us live more in the intentional camp, but I say they're both great. They're both very valid approaches to co-creation, and they intermix with one another. We can take a step and then listen, is this the right way? Or we can listen and then take a step as we are guided, right? They're both really valid ways to co-create. And so no matter how we co-create, it's important that we know that we are co-creators, and the how is really just in the spirit, in the kindness, in the inclusivity, and all those things that I just mentioned that Naomi Osaka embodied for us. So we are indeed co-creators. We are indeed creating a beautiful world together. One of the things that we do at the board meeting every month is we do a visioning. And actually, Lisa encouraged me to guide that visioning so it's not just for the individual board members, but that it's for the community. And so each time we really vision on the community, and we let Spirit give us different symbols and take us on a journey, and it's really quite fun. And a couple of months ago, I think it was at least 3 of us got our receptacle to receive the good for our community was copper. Was a copper bowl or a copper vessel, but all of us got copper. It came up when I was out to dinner with some friends last weekend. They said, oh, well, copper's so valuable. Everybody's like crazy about copper pipes and copper wires and copper, so it's about this valuable, this receptacle of great value. Isn't that beautiful to know that the leaders of your community are imagining for us as a community that we have this great receptacle of pricelessness, of value to receive our good? Not knowing exactly where it will come from, but trusting that it does, and it multiplies over and over again because we bank on that truth as co-creators. We know this as our truth. This is who we are. This is who we've come to be. We are co-creators. And you know what? This is the way it is that we are co-creators, that you and I are co-creators, that you all have the eyes of dreamers, and that we look about this world with those eyes of dreamers, that we cast upon those who we see and call forth the divine potential in them as well. That we connect with each other in the best ways that we can, heart to heart, and that we know for ourselves that we are healthy in body, in mind, in spirit, so we can do the work that Spirit has guided us to do. We are co-creators. We are co-creating our lives, we are co-creating our community, and we are co-creating our world. This is the way it is. Let's know that together. Together, this is the way it is. I am a co-creator. Yeah, I feel it. I believe it. I see it.
Thank you, Kristen. I felt like you're a cheerleader there for all of us at the end. I appreciate that. Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide prayer support. If you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains, as you can see, are wearing their lavender stoles. And whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness. And now let's turn our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal truth of the law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. For in truth, as we just heard, there is no lack or limitation, and abundance is our true nature. For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to give financially to this community. For electronic giving, you may download the Give app or take an envelope from the clipboard on the chair in front of you. Those at home may click on the Give Here or Donate button on the Watch Live page. I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation with me. Together,
Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Thank you.
Driving, got the wind in my face. Music's cranked up, getting out of this place. Driving, my side of the line. Just driving, no destination in mind. Cruising, Interstate 10. I'm looking at my life, where I have been. Moving into the flow, gonna follow my heart wherever it goes. And this road lined with nothing but tumbleweeds. Time for a change of scenery. What lies ahead remains a mystery. And I'm driving, driving, driving to better news. Driving, driving, driving my way through these blues. 2 days, Interstate 5. I'm starting to feel I'm coming alive. Heading north to the south, feeling so free, like I busted out. And this road stretches in front of me. A road of possibility. What lies ahead must be what's meant to be. 'Cause I'm driving, driving, driving to better news. I'm driving, driving, driving my way through these blues. I'm ready to build a new dream. Gonna find me a bridge, cross over that stream. Making a change, gonna see where it leads. Open that door, 'cause I got the key. And this road's become a friend to me. There's hope coming alive in me. Gonna write me a new history. 'Cause I'm driving, driving, driving to better news. Driving, driving, driving my way through these blues. Yeah, I'm driving, driving, driving to better news. Driving, driving, driving my way through these blues. Take it home.
Thank you, everyone. Good to have you back, Larry.
Yay!
Come on up, ushers. Let's bless this good. Keep the multiplying and the blessing flowing for all of us. Huh? Thank you, Spirit, for the abundant good that is ours, for the claiming, for the inspiration, for the intentionality. We continue to co-create as a community all the good that we know that wants to be seen and known and expressed and felt in our lives and in this world. Let's bless it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. Thank you. Let's bring our children up.
We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God.
Hello, everyone. Tell us about you. What'd you do today?
Who would like to share? Anybody? They've all told me no one wants to share today. So we're working with the 5 principles, and we were working with principle number 3. And do you remember what principle number 3 is? Mum's the word. We can look over here. We co-create life. Our principle number 3 is I create my own experience. I create my own reality through our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. And so then we drew pictures of the world that we want to create. So that's what we did today.
Wonderful. Let's bless our teachers and our children. Together. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. We invite you now to take your neighbor's hand, if you're comfortable doing that, as we close out with our prayer of protection and our peace song. And at the very end, we're going to say, spread joy, just so you know. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine.
Spread joy.
No, that's at the
Oh,
end.
it's the very end.
You
I
can
think
spread
we should
joy
do it
now.
twice.
Spread joy now and later.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God ever present, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You are the light and the love and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine and spread joy. So it is.